week's episode of One Piece, Jesus Burgess has his skull crushed and his ass flame-broiled by Fire Fist Sabo. And Fujitora surprises everyone by prostrating himself right in front of King Riku, the true king of Dressrosa. And that's pretty much the whole episode. That's all, folks. The post-Dressrosa arc is going to be really slow. I mean, the One Piece series is already pretty slow from the beginning, but this is a perfect opportunity for the animation team to build up a little more time before we get into the next arc of the series. That being said, there were still some exciting things about this week's episode. We got to see the final confrontation between Fire Fist Sabo and Jesus Burgess, which, while short-lived, was pretty damn satisfying. Basically, Jesus Burgess, after having his ass smacked for multiple episodes, decides to crawl towards Sabo, basically making fun of him, telling him about Ace's final moments and talking about the whole how their brotherhood is basically crap kind of thing. Probably not the best thing to do if your body is completely beaten and you're fighting against a guy who can conjure fire, but still, it's really satisfying when Sabo grabs his face, starts to crush his skull, and then parries one of his attacks, literally hitting him at point-blank range with a fire fist, which sends him flying across the streets of Dressrosa, slamming into the side of a building, and then erupting into flames. Is this the end of Jesus Burgess? Probably not, but still, that was definitely the highlight of this week's episode. That and, of course, the build-up to Fujitora, who at first seemed like he might be doing something really hardcore, really militaristic, but no, he is a man with honor. He decides to literally prostrate himself right in front of King Riku and all of the citizens of Dressrosa, basically apologizing, saying that it's because of the world's government rule that they have the 7 warlord system, and thus Doflamingo had the ability to take over the Dressrosa kingdom. And while he's saying this is being broadcast to a number of kingdoms in the surrounding area, and you can bet your ass that this is going to piss the world government off. So what's the rundown on this week's episode of One Piece? 2 major events. Check it out for those. Skip through some of the episode if you would like to. This one was okay. Really, it is defined by those big 2 moments. The Sabo Jesus Burgess confrontation and Fujitora getting on his knees. That's pretty much the whole episode right there. I'm kind of just done with the whole, like, Dressrosa arc. Mostly the citizens of Dressrosa. Like, I just don't care about these characters anymore, especially because we never got too invested in them aside from just on the surface and everything. It's just every single One Piece arc always has to have like 1,000,000 characters in the background with problems that I frankly just don't care about, and the anime always uses them as an excuse to pad out for time or have extra reactionary scenes from these characters, and I'm just over it at this point. That being said, Sabo, Jesus Burgess, that moment was really cool, especially that big fire fist attack. Definitely the most satisfying part of this episode, and this episode also again is painting Fujitora in a really awesome light. He's definitely one of my favorite Marine characters, without a doubt. So, pretty good episode. As far as production values go, this was a pretty good one as well. Nothing too crazy. Remember, this is just a good average episode of One Piece. So I'm going to give this one right here a 3 out of 5. Check it out, One Piece fans. You might see something you like. But if any of you guys watched this week's episode of One Piece, I would love to hear your thoughts about it. What did you think of the battle between Sabo and Jesus Burgess? And what did you think about Fujitora apologizing to the Dressrosa Kingdom? What do you want to see from the rest of the post-Dressrosa arc and the rest of the One Piece anime series? You can tell me in the comment section below. You guys are awesome. Thank you for watching this video. Make sure to share it with all your friends. And if you would like to, please subscribe to the channel. That way you'll be able to see all of our latest anime and manga reviews as they are released. You guys can also follow us on Facebook, on Twitter. All that stuff is in the description box below. Thank you guys again for watching, and as always, stay dandy, baby.